Happy New Year! It's a Southern tradition to have what we call a good luck lunch. And here I have one bunch of collard greens, and this represents kind of your dollar bills. Some black-eyed peas, which are supposed to represent coins. And then buttermilk, cornbread, which is supposed to represent gold. And then we got also do pork to represent that you'll never go hungry again. So the first part is going to be making collard greens. It's kind of a long video, so I'm sorry. And again, I'm making a very, very small batch because it's just for my husband and I. We normally do have a bunch of friends over, and I cook up a large amount of collard greens and black-eyed peas and a pork tenderloin and cornbread, and everybody just enjoys it, and we just have a good time. One thing about collard greens is we're going to do a triple wash. You want to make sure that you get all of the sediment off of the leaves. So my first wash was the whole leaf in some baking soda in cold water, and I zhuzhed it around and let it kind of settle to the bottom, and then I took it out and I laid it on the towel like this and patted it dry. Now you want to remove that inner stem. You can use a knife to cut it, but if you're like me, growing up in the South, we've seen our grandmas, mammals, whatever you call them, do this 1,000 times. You just hold the end of it secure, and then you just yank it out, and see, it looks just like the one that I cut. I'm going to do that with all of them. Then I line them up tip to tip, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down the center. Here I am cutting it down the center. Now some people will, for New Year's, will do like fried cabbage also. That's also good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it up like you're rolling up a cigar. Here you go. And this is also a good time when you find those pieces that are kind of tough that didn't come off. You can just use a knife to cut it off. And then I'm going to roll it up. And then I cut them into ribbons. So I wanted to show you the new knives that my husband got me for Christmas. I was so excited. You can cut these up into ribbons. Now, if you think the ribbons are too long, feel free to just take the roll and cut it in half. But we kind of like it like this. And then I'm going to wash them in a bowl. This is my second wash. I'll drain it and do a third wash also. So I got one yellow onion, and I'm going to use half of it for the black-eyed peas and the other half for the collard greens. And so you'll see me here. I'm showing off how sharp my new knife are. I'm so excited. There it is. Okay. So once you remove the skin, for the collard greens, I'm actually going to slice this. I find that it cooks a lot better because you do have to cook collard greens a little bit longer than, normal greens. So here I am slicing. It goes through like butter. Sorry, bragging a little bit. I just feel really appreciated with these new knives. It's so sharp. Now watch here. I'm like, oh, I don't want to cut my finger off. There we go. Okay, so there you see I've got the slices. And then I am adding in 1 clove of garlic. One goes over for the black-eyed peas a little bit later. There you go. Now what I do is I save the onion peels and the garlic skins, and I put them in a bag in the freezer called stock. And I'm slicing it here. I'm sorry. I'm slicing it here. But I take those onion peels and any kind of peel that you would normally put into stock, and I freeze it so no waste. Here I am running off 3 strips of bacon. I cook it low and slow because I want to get as much of that fat off. See, it's not too crispy. And we're going to kind of rough chop this up, and we're going to add it back a little bit later. So to that hot grease, now be careful, bacon grease is extremely hot and it pops. Add in your slice of onions, break up the slices, kind of zhuzh it around a little bit. Then we're going to add some salt to sweat it out. Give it a good zhuzhing. Then this process is going to go pretty fast. So you're going to add your garlic. You're going to add some red pepper flakes. We like it spicy, so we add a lot. And some people add hot sauce, and that's great too. I'm going to add some garlic powder. And what you're doing here is you're making what we call the pot lick or pot liquor. And that's the juice of it. It's so good to dip your cornbread in. So I'm adding some onion powder in. And then I'm going to add some pepper. Oh, and my husband got me this new stand to put my phone on to record these videos. So I love it because it frees up my hands. Zhuzh it around. And then you're going to grab your apple cider vinegar. Oh, no. Wait. You're going to grab your greens. Sorry. Put your greens in. Now, don't worry. They're going to wilt down. I'm going to zhuzh it around to try to get that oil and onions and all of that seasoning incorporated. You'll see me do that. Here we go. Oop, one fell up. Okay, now it's wilted down some. So now I'm going to add in a scant of sugar. Some people add brown sugar, some people add honey, some people add maple syrup, molasses. It's just really evens out the taste. And so now I'm grabbing for that apple cider vinegar. And I'm going to put that in there. It's so good. And then you can add water at this time. I'm adding chicken broth. Now, depending on how much liquid you want for your pot liquor or pot lick, you can add a lot more. I'm adding in just until it comes up a little bit over the greens, because I know that the greens are still going to release some water. And then I'm going to bring it up to a simmer. Once it gets to a simmer, I'm going to add in that chopped bacon, give it a good zhuzhing. Once it comes up to a boil, I'm going to turn it down to low and cover it. Now, you cook this until your desired tenderness, and then enjoy the next video.